Welcome to Casual Quest Masters, a casual Master Quest podcast. In this podcast, we'll follow the adventures of a group of characters who simply want to find their way in this world, but a more sinister plot is evolving around them. How will they fare? Let's find out today on Casual Master Quest.
Get your dice ready because we are back with another session of Casual Quest Masters. I feel like I'm forgetting something there, but yeah, featuring Neverwinter and the Val Nugoni is Nick Chodimella.
Hi. You got it. I play full Storm Striker Val Nugoni.
Yeah.
And he's tired.
And then we also have Tyler Vidito playing
As?
I thought you were going to introduce yourself.
I do. Sorry, you just said as, so now it's like, okay, this is your show floor. I play as Nox, Master Caller, Valu Nugoni, the very, very not tired changeling who burnt all their spell slots doing a fireworks show on a bunch of trees. Let's see. The changeling sorcerer who's a little bit tired and wants to get that fucking dragon fired.
It's my turn.
You're still, yeah.
And yours truly, Magdohr, Thunder Warrior, Band Iron, who's ready to give this dragon a knuckle sandwich. And finally, we have our all-powerful dungeon master, Glenn Houston.
Hello. How you guys doing?
We're good. I know I missed something at the beginning, and it threw me off for the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know, we are a D&D 5th edition live play adventure.
That's what I forgot. I'm not even going to roll. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready to roll?
Yep.
I'm ready.
I rolled a 14.
Got a 3, bitch.
As Tyler so eloquently put it, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, I rolled a 1, which means I get to choose, right? And I get to choose who does a recap, and that's me.
Yeah.
It's a very limited choices.
Big brain.
God, I've done the recap a lot.
You have.
Anyways,
I haven't. I've done it like 4 times.
Yeah, no, I feel like I've done
What the
it.
fuck, Brandon?
Yeah, Tyler's
Nick,
been
why didn't
mostly
you pick Brandon then?
It's been mostly between the two of us. I feel like I've been on a streak now over the last 10 weeks.
I feel like Glenn has done it more times than Brandon.
Glenn's only done it 1 time.
Glenn's only done it 1 time.
We can't get lucky enough to roll a 20 on that.
Okay.
I mean, even when we do, we try to torture each other rather than like pick on Glenn. So, anyways,
It's true.
Yeah.
Previously, as Brandon just randomly rolled a d20 and rolled a 1, so I was like, it just caught me up. But anyways,
Motherfucker.
previously on Casual Quest Masters, perversely. After assessing the losses of numerous Goliaths, including Greppa, the village and team honor the fallen with funeral pyres, which is a standard celebration for when the dead pass in the Val Nugoni tribe, and they collect the ashes and scatter them in the wind. And after they do this, Nox goes boom for a little bit. The team meet up with Guruk after, and apparently Greppa had a bunch of items for us once we completed our training, and I'm sorry. Just the structure of that sentence threw me off. Teaming up Guruk, Greppa had given Guruk a box of items that she told him he'll know what to do when the time is right, and so she's left as items for us. And then after being given those items, Guruk thanked us for helping out the village and gave us our titles. Vol got a genie bottle. Nox got a cloak that turns into wings, and Magdohr got a fucking boat. The village breaks off to hide in the cavern formerly inhabited by the Remmerhazes, and the exhausted group passes out as the plan is now to move to the previous den of the wolves. for safety of the village.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted
That's
to
it.
make sure they knew we got our titles, but I added it in a bad spot.
No, that's fine, You're good. I mean, not much happened, but also a lot happened last session.
Nox cries themselves to sleep.
Before we go to sleep, I'm going to crawl up to Vol. And I know he's trying to sleep right now.
Just to make sure I'm on the up and up, did you say crawl or curl?
Crawl up.
Because both are interesting. Okay.
Because I plopped down, so I'm just going to crawl. I'm going to look to him and say, Hey, Vol.
Magdohr.
Will you teach me one more thing?
Sure.
I want to learn Giant. I want to be able to talk to Grip.
Alright. We can figure that out, but maybe on the way to the cave in the morning we can start then. As Vol leans his head back and actually tries to fall asleep.
And as he's laying there, he just hears nothing as Magdohr crawls back, because Magdohr's silent.
Because of the armor and the boots!
And Magdohr goes to sleep.
Otacon, I'm in. You just hear that softly echoing off in the distance.
Yeah, you
I'm
guys.
gonna keep doing this until.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just. You guys went to sleep and you wake up in that same cavern
Well, that's good.
that you fell asleep in. Nothing happened overnight. You were able to get your first good night of rest since all of this craziness began.
Okay, good is such a harsh term.
Well, you hadn't slept in a while. Now you have. You get your spell slots back and are well rested by the definition in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Nox goes boom again. No, I'm just kidding.
And the staff has
all my
expended all
fails.
charges.
He breaks it.
Haha, we're all dead.
Yay!
Yeah, just
Good game, everyone.
Yep, GG.
And you are actually awoken to the sound of what sounds like freezing rain outside. Yeah.
You know, I was about to say, how do we know that's freezing? But fun fact, you can actually tell if water is cold or not by the sound of it. It makes a different
That
pitch.
really threw me
Also,
off.
the fact it's frozen.
Glenn, I was like, what the fuck is that?
What, that fact?
I heard, "Duh." I was like, what the fuck is that? He's got music playing.
I
The
forgot.
sound of freezing
I know,
rain.
but I've never heard sound effects before.
Oh, well, I have that tab forever muted, so, like,
It
I didn't even hear
confused me. I'm good now.
Wait, what are we talking
Roll
about
20,
here?
he's playing sound
I
effects.
have
And
turned on the
roll 20.
Yeah, I have roll 20 sound effects used now because I didn't realize, or I had forgotten that I was a part of this. So
Jesus is getting
you have
haunted.
a couple different ones.
But anyway,
You're in an icy cavern. It's a dark time, so it's the aesthetic.
Glenn, if you don't mind, I would like to say for a long rest, I'm allowed to have up to 2 hours of light activity.
I usually read it in 4, so you can have 4 hours of light activity.
Okay. Do you mind if I use 2 of those hours to attune to the wing cloak and the ring of free action?
I don't think that is light activity. I don't know. If you guys disagree, you can say so. I believe it's very focused, concentrated work. It's not combat per se, but it's definitely not like sitting there reading a book casually. It's like very focused, attentive. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I'm open
if
to
that's-
suggestions.
that's in the rule books. That's fine with me. I'll do it afterwards, I guess.
I mean, because it will set a precedent. Yeah, you can't attune to magical items during your light activity during your rests. And I just want to make sure that's okay with everyone, because if it's not, we'll allow it. It's no big deal.
Fine by me. Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Now, to be fair, you could have done that once you guys got to the cave last night before you went to bed.
Sure. I mean, then I guess for the sake of the story, then you'll hear me crying. Well, this is an interesting vibe stream today so far. Yeah, Nox will, as you hear him crying, like holding the cloak, Grandpa, ooh. And then I go to sleep, and then Nox wakes up and goes, ring of reaction, ooh. Just does that for an hour straight. Nox is definitely a wreck right now. Like you see him like trying to pull themselves together, and they like shapeshift back into the half elf, but then it's like, oh.
The other Goliath are very put off by this.
Oh, you've seen worse.
But yeah, so for how you've all waken up, yeah, you wake up that way. You, Magdohr, are licked awake as your puppy friend Grep really wants to get up, and you are sleeping on him. So he licks you until you wake up, nudges you if you are a hard sleeper. I don't know how heavy a sleeper Magdohr is.
Roll over and flop on the ground.
Yeah,
give him
and
a
he
pet
gets
in
up
my
and walks
sleep.
away. Cool. And then Vol, you are awoken by your brother. His arm now in a sling. He's got bandages all over it. And he just kind of pats you on the head and puts his hand in front of your face to pull you up, because I believe you had fallen asleep against the wall of the cave, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he reaches down to help you.
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah. Get up, yawn off.
It's time to
sleep.
Get out. We gotta move.
Yeah. And Volt's gonna get to doing whatever needs to be done. Helping people get ready if they're not already packed and stuff, and then waking up Magdohr and Nox if they're not already up at this moment. Like basically in the timeline, whenever Vol wakes up, I would imagine they might have woken him up a little earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you all are getting up, you see that the other Goliath have started to, as they've gotten up, very similar to, when you get up from going camping, as this is basically what you're doing, is camping in this cave. They've started to pack everything up, and they kind of look to you to follow suit and assist them in doing so.
Are they looking more clubs or spades? I want to follow Trump. Oh, wait. You guys don't understand euchre rules. That's a Michigan thing. This is awkward. I was making a follow...
So, yeah.
Okay. And then when I said Trump, I meant the right bower, the left bower. That's, okay. This is going the wrong direction.
Oh, it's an in-game thing, like whatever the Trump suit is for that round. Suit that is the highest ranked at that moment. Got it. No, you're fine. I've never played euchre, so...
Well, I realize that's a dirty word to say right now, especially in this podcast, and I'd like to apologize. Nox finds some liquid dish detergent and begins gargling it.
Euchre, honestly, euchre, the word itself sounds like some sort of fantasy game. To me, it's impossible to imagine that that's an actual game that people play right now. It just sounds so silly.
Is it magical enough that can be in the world of Faerun, Glenn?
Sure.
Magdohr pulls out a deck of cards.
On a new side quest.
Let's find a different name for it, though, so it has its own identity in this world. You care. There it is. Roll ER and you're good. You care.
I care, but do you care?
Oh, God. Okay.
Nox looks over at Magdohr, or I guess Vol looks over at Magdohr, and he's drinking ale from the alchemy jug.
Alright, Magdohr. Let's, We've got a trek. As Would Magdohr be sitting or
sitting and then?
Yeah. Hey, you're gonna feel Vol pull you up from the back of your neck onto your feet. Would you?
Yeah,
allow
he's
that?
used to it at this point. I'm sure that's not the first time.
It's like a kitten.
I look up to you. That sled that I made out there should still be usable if you want to offer it to them.
Yeah, should be fine. Thank you. We should be able to make good use of it. And then, sorry, Tyler, I missed it. What was Nox doing as they woke up?
They were crying themselves awake while attuning to a second item.
Ah, I see. So before Vol then heads off towards Nox, Vol's gonna flag down either his brother or his father, or basically anybody from the village, let them know about the sled that Magdohr created originally, in case they haven't already commandeered it.
Okay.
How big was that sled, Magdohr?
I think it was hold on.
Wasn't it 10 by 10 or something?
It was, I made it longer than wide.
You asked Magdohr that?
Well, I'm because we were there. I just can't remember as a player. Yeah, because he used fabrication on it when we first took down the Rimmer Haze, right? And fabrication, I think, allows you to make a 10 by 10 panel, several different 10 by 10 panels. I think that's the size.
And 40 feet long.
40.
What?
Right? 8 times 5.
8 times 5 is 40. So this.
It checks out.
In Magdohr's mind, he thought we were just putting the Rimmer Haze on it and just pulling it.
Good for you. They've already started, because you remember when you guys arrived, they started breaking down the rest of the Rimmer Haze, and they had already done that last night. That's what a lot of the village had spent their time doing, so it's already loaded up on the sled, taking up most of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, beyond that, Vol would then head towards Nox and for the sake of mechanics, maybe towards the end of the attunement period, and kind of shake them awake.
Oh, I'm attuning Vol.
Yeah, you can attune in your own privacy. Come, we have to leave.
I'm almost done. Oh.
Yeah, it does take a couple hours for everyone to get everything loaded up, so.
Alright. Just take your time, I suppose, and help whenever you're ready.
During this time, I'm going to look at my box and open it up with a heavy sigh.
Okay.
I don't say the command word, I just open the box.
Which box is this?
The foldable boat.
Oh, got it. Yeah. It doesn't really look like it should open up into a big boat like it says it does. Or it does.
Do I see anything in the
Magdohr,
box?
what's the command word for that boat?
Sorry, what?
Do I see anything in the box?
In the box that has the boat?
Yeah, it just says, in the description, it says that it opens up like a normal box. So I didn't know.
Yeah.
It can be used to store items, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just opened the box.
Just a box.
Nothing in it.
Nope.
I identified it. Would I know the command words already, or do I have to figure them out? Okay. That's what I was getting to. I didn't know if there's a paper with the command words or anything.
Yeah, in my own mind too, it's one of those things where the word is different for each person as the item speaks to you.
Okay.
So, it still achieves the same purpose, but allows you to put your own spice into it. So,
Can the command word be Nox?
for you, I guess, yeah.
The command word for the first boat is fuck, and for the larger boat is this. And to get it away is off.
Okay.
Tyler will remember that one.
All right.
Oh no, Brandon.
Huh?
What have you done?
What's the third command word? Turn it back into a regular piece of paper.
Off.
Fuck this off. Got it. Nailed it.
Brandon, you understand that the command word needs to be spoken. There's no attunement required.
Yeah, I was saying it.
I just want you to understand what that implies. Okay, no, but from what I understand, if anybody were to pass by and say "fuck,"
Oh, is that true?
That's
I thought
true.
I had to say it.
Nope.
if it was attuned, then yes.
Oh, fuck.
It doesn't require attunement. So anybody that said, "Yep," it turns into a boat.
Yep.
Magdohr, what do you think about this ring?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we might want different command words then. I'll let Glenn choose them. Or I'll just roll a list.
So I'd recommend.
Here. Random word generator. We'll do the first
There
three.
you go.
I've gone to this link before. Let's see. Number of words, 3. Alright. The words that it came up with are highway, torture, and deer.
There you go.
Does it know, like, Michigan or what? Like,
Yeah, so highways to get the small boat, torturers to get the big boat, which is fitting for Magdohr, and then deers to put it away.
Deers to-
D-E-E-R.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think if you say it out loud, it's going to know the difference at this point.
Magic, they'll know the difference.
Oh dear, this ring.
No, it actually won't deflate if we're on it, right?
It can.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just that it'll eject any items that cannot fit in the folded box or people out of it safely. But it can still go down while people are on the boat.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, Magdohr's done inspecting his box.
You just
Great.
hear ding as the entombment finishes. I feel a lot better. I had a good cry. Magdohr, can I have some of that drink?
I hand him the jug of alchemy. Hand them.
How much of this am I allowed to drink?
As much as you can handle.
Okay. Nox is gonna drink a good Stein's worth. I guess I'll straight from the tip. And
Con save.
Glug glug glug. Okay, you know what? I deserve that. 15. Tell me with disadvantage. I fucking dare you, Glenn.
Oh, you're great. A
Good, 'cause I
pleasant
had a
buzz,
second
but
15.
nothing more. Nothing that will inhibit you.
All right. Honestly, if you told me only a little bit, I would have respected, you know, my way and the highway and all that.
Sounds like there's work being done outside. Should we go and help?
Yeah, I guess. It's just... I mean, what can we really do at this point, you know? Feels like it's a giant cat and mouse chase, and... I feel like we're in a maze waiting for the cat to come back again.
But we're mice with weapons.
Well, you know, that... I don't think that went great the last time.
We killed everybody.
Like, you know... Except for the cat, yeah. Yeah, we did, didn't we? We killed the mouse traps and all that, but we didn't kill the fucking
Did we
cat.
see the dragon flying away as we got to the village, or was Nox the only one who saw it?
Yes.
No.
You would have all kind of seen it just in the distance.
Magdohr's gonna look down and say, well, we've got all that training now. It was probably afraid of us and flew away.
You know what, Magdohr? I believe that. Honestly, I need this right now. I need to know that all the stuff that we did, all the training, the riddles, the rescue missions, is gonna make it so worth that we're strong enough that this cryovane motherfucker is actually scared of us. Because if not, I'm a flip a bitch.
All right, let's go kill it.
Hey. Come on. Help. We have to get the village down to the wolf's den.
I didn't know if that was
Bitch about it
Vol
on
or
the way
another
there.
villager. That was aggressive. Magdohr stands
Well, I
up.
mean, Vol's been up for about the same time, and he's been helping. You guys have been sitting around, playing with the box and drinking ale. A couple of his villagers died. Vol's not in the best
Only
moods.
one person that's done that.
We both have been drinking ale.
You both have been drinking ale.
Yes.
You won't play with my box.
It's disgusting. No, just help.
I'll play with the box.
Yeah, so Magdohr goes off and helps where he can. Mending things, getting things ready, blacksmith stuff.
Cool. All right, yeah, so you each assist in your own ways to finish getting the impromptu campsite packed up and put onto both the 5-foot wide, 40-foot long sled that I like to believe you had connected by like 10-foot sections that have sections that hold it together, so it's like a train sort of thing. So it's not just one long piece of wood. Is that okay to assume?
Sure.
Otherwise, it's going to be pretty tough to navigate this thing.
It's
Impossible.
Magdohr can make it.
I
He
played
doesn't
scrap
think.
mechanic.
And-
It's not a good idea.
And one thing they've done in the meantime is they've actually cut it in half. Sorry, 4 sections. So there is 4 10-foot sleds they've put separately so one person can be responsible for pulling one. And so they're ready to go after about 30 minutes to go.
When Magdohr looks at it, he kind of looks there and looks down. It's like, why didn't I think of that?
But yeah, then you make your way. And for the sake of brevity, what happens is not interesting or noteworthy. It's just a trek.
Oh, we're outside now?
It's sad.
It snowed that night. It's quiet. Nobody's really conversating. They're just walking in silence. And eventually, after about... nice. Eventually, after about 6 or 7 hours, after you making your way down the switchbacks and through into the forest, you find yourselves at the cave where you first met the wolves.
I would like to say...
And sitting out front...
Okay, no, never mind. I know what you're going to say.
Okay, yeah, sitting out front is what you can see is the group that the wolves had sent, along with your boy, who had run ahead to meet them and met you there with them. Sitting next to his father, still slightly smaller and less scarred, but they're with about the alpha and 8 other direwolves and himself waiting for you at the entrance to the cave.
When Magdohr sees that, he's gonna run up to all of them. Like, all right, guys, you ready to kill a dragon?
The alpha looks at his son and then back to you and narrows his eyes a bit and speaks in common and says, "What is your plan, dwarf? They are powerful and they have a dragon on their side. We cannot storm him. We must be careful."
Magdohr's just gonna stand there with his mouth open and turn around and look at Vol and Nox.
And as you turn around, because you kind of ran ahead, like a little hastily, excited to see them and ready to get going with this, eventually the rest of the Goliath tribe walks up, and you turn around and you see the rest of the group kind of catch up to you. And standing now about 10 feet apart are this horse-sized white alpha wolf that you've known to be very imposing, and the chief, Goruk, with his axe across his back. Just looking at each other. And after a few moments, the silence is broken. Not actually, but you see Goruk give a bow, as much of a bow, Vol, as you've ever seen your father give anyone. And he gives a slight nod, a little bit of a bow, and says, "Thank you for your help. And you are right, we should plan." Inside the cave? And he looks at you, Vol, when he asks that.
Let's get everybody settled before we start discussing things.
So that's where we screwed up. And like Nox is like thinking about this as they lean in on Vol a little bit. Like, you're supposed to give him a bow, not a bow.
What What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Let's start out getting everybody unloaded, and then we can sit and discuss, make a plan. And Volt's gonna go off and just start helping.
So, as two groups of creatures that have very rarely interacted in such close proximity may opt to do, they seem uncomfortable, but the Goliaths move through the wolves as they part, and then the wolves follow all of you into the cave from behind, and eventually they start to set up as the wolves sit near the entrance and wait for you to be ready to speak.
Would it help the villagers to see Vol give like little scratches here and there to like the wolves as he's going
Do you think so?
I don't like Vol wouldn't do that as a way to like. It's fine, they're friendly, but Vol is like maybe there's big dogs, and Vol likes animals, so he's gonna give little scratches here and there.
Okay.
And like,
Yeah.
he's also
As
just
you're
happy to
working,
see,
you go by one and give a couple little, scratch them on the chest, and they kick their leg a little bit. Yeah, that does seem to ease tensions a bit as your tribe's mates. These are apex predators,
right?
That normally they would do everything in their power to avoid, and because you're both apex predators effectively in this world, and so that sort of, it's not necessarily a natural, normal thing, but these wolves, having spent so much time in captivity, have retained their ability to be apex predators in nature, but also understand and know how to interact with bipeds and humanoids. But yeah, it does ease tensions a bit. Inspiration point.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it only takes about 20-30 minutes for them to get everything set up to a point where Garuk feels as though they can adequately, because they prioritize getting up his tent, which is the biggest one, because they're still keeping the tents up inside the cave, just to give another layer of warmth and protection. And once they get that up, he instructs the other villagers to continue working. The Alpha instructs his wolves to go outside and make rounds around the area and make sure that they keep an eye and ear and nose out for trouble, and goes into his tent and invites your party and the Alpha and Vox into the tent to speak about what they would like to, how you would like to proceed with this. Oh, did I say Vox?
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get there.
Correct. Yeah.
We're
Okay.
there.
Sorry.
Nox stands outside. No, I was just making a joke that you said Vox instead of...
Oh,
you said the team, but...
Yeah.
No, I'm here. I'm still standing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to think Vol being so hands-on right now was probably already, like, seamlessly, like, I guess, following along, so he might already be inside, while everybody maybe has to come and gather in.
Yeah, Magdohr goes in and sits next to Vol. He's done this enough. He knows what to do now.
Nox just finds the matriarch wolf and tries to keep near her specifically, but Nox is not one of the people to usually sit in the middle of a group like this.
Oh, and she's not in the tent. She's part of the group that are out scouting. Only Grip and the Alpha are in there, as far as wolves go.
Ah, my apologies.
No, you can't have spent some time trying to be close to her while you guys were prepping and building before that, though. Absolutely.
Okay, but yeah, Nox is in there and just, I guess, finds a seat then.
And, yeah, once everybody gets settled, Garuk just looks at the Alpha, and then they both look at you, Vol.
I turn and look at Vol, too.
Vol
I think they're looking at you.
I'm just trying to decide whether Vol would either be like aloof or realize what's happening and decide to try and attempt to take.
What's your
lead.
wisdom modifier?
Wisdom modifier is 3.
Yeah, you would absolutely understand the social implications of what they're doing with
Okay.
their body and their eyes. They are looking to you for an initial start to this conversation, at least.
So I think the first decision has to be whether we go after the dragon Cryovane directly or deal with the frost giants. If the frost giants are under Cryovane's control, then maybe dealing with Cryovane first will be able to dissuade the frost giants from carrying on their hostility. Or we could deal with the frost giants first and wear down Cryovane's strength. Unless there's something else that anybody has to suggest or that I've missed.
Are the frost giants normally peaceful if they're not being controlled by a dragon?
From what I remember, peaceful is maybe not the correct term, but especially not towards the wolves as we've seen. But at least with my village, they were harmony is maybe the closest term. Like, we didn't mind each other.
Yeah, and Gruder nods in approval and says, yes, it was more of a tenuous alliance rather than any sort. They are a violent people, from what I know, just not against us. I don't think they wanted to deal with another tribe of adept warriors.
I don't know if I feel comfortable attacking them if they're under control of another being.
I mean, we're a bit late for that now, Magdohr. We've killed at least 5 of them
But
so
that was
far.
in self-defense.
When you looked at those frost giants, when that frost giant stabbed its axe into Greppa, did it seem to be mind-controlled?
I don't know.
Would we have any kind of way to telling if it seemed like it was doing it of its own volition, or if it was enjoying it?
Why don't you... you
Shit.
can make an Arcana check.
Oh, an Arcana check. I was waiting for they to do an insight. I'm like, oh boy, actually, I got the same thing. A majestic +4, baby.
Yeah.
16.
16? Yeah, you don't know of... As far as your knowledge of dragons and magic, there's only been one that you've ever heard of that can actually cast spells. So it's very unlikely that they're mind-controlled in any sort of way like that.
Magdohr, I've heard of, like, Crown of Madness and other enchanting spells or whatnot, but if the giants are under the direct control of the dragon, it's probably out of fear than anything. Or something more.
So we attack creatures that are already scared for their lives?
I mean, they weren't terrified enough to turn around and kill somebody who was on death's door. I don't think frost giants are the nicest, but I think bullies that are scared are just going to be worse bullies.
Yeah, and at that point, too, the Alpha growls a bit and says, "The giants are not good. They subjugated and abused my people for years."
Nox messages Vol and asks, didn't frost giants enslave Goliaths for hundreds of years for the longest time? Or something like that? Question mark?
Not in the Val Nugoni history. Maybe not. So Vol would not be aware.
Okay.
Um,
Did you respond in third person like that, or?
Not in Val Nugoni history, so I wouldn't be aware. Maybe other Goliath tribes. So it seems... Go ahead, Magdohr.
I was just conflicted with that. I know they're bad people, and I know they've done bad things. But the Yeti baby had me thinking, what if it's just because of the dragon that they're bad?
Do we know how many more frost giants are there?
Are you asking that out loud to someone?
Yeah, it'd be directed at the Alpha.
Says, before their conflict with your tribe, I believe they had around 20 frost giants.
Oh.
So there are at least 15 remaining. So the question is now, do we want to
Unless the
slowly
dragon
tackle...
has chosen to eat one or more. Would not surprise me.
Oh. You know, for once, I'm actually hopeful that the dragon was fucking hungry.
So I think one of the first few things we need to do, and I think, Nox, you'll be able to do this effectively, is to...
Become a frost giant. Got it. They start to alter themselves. Oh, okay. Wait.
Not right now, but I think with Craven you'd be able to scout and see if we can find out what the frost giant strength is right now.
Nox is like halfway into turning into blue and going, oh, you meant with Craven.
And Magdohr's getting ready to hop on Grep with the cloak. It says, oh, yeah, that's probably a better idea.
I don't think it'd be wise to risk sending any one of us out there. As far as I understand it, Craven's with no offense, Nox, but Craven's a being made of magic, so even if Craven were to be captured, it'd be easy for you to resummon Craven.
I telepathically command Craven to forget what Vol just said.
So the question is, do we tackle an entire village of frost giants who we know that there may be at least 15 of, or take out one dragon or attempt to, and then deal with the frost giants?
Do we know where Cryovane even keeps his or her? It's, in the year of Faerun 2020, we don't know where it keeps its hoard or where it nests.
Greppa did, and this is Garuk, so he says, Greppa did leave me, she did not tell me how she acquired it, but she did leave me a map of what she believes the layout of the Frost Giants village to look like.
I whip out the giant Goliath map that I currently have. I go, please, I would love to update it.
He pulls out a smaller one, and I'm going to reveal it to you.
Sounds like the sound effect that you get when you update it with the Sheikah Tower. With some variation. Yeah. Dabba-dee-ba-dee-ba-doo-doo. Dee-ba-dee-ba-doo.
Because you guys are on that one, yeah? Yes.
What am I looking at here? Or let's see, which channel
it's
or chat?
being a but. Oh, it's in Roll20.
Oh. Okay. Fine by me.
And you know this to be to your northwest of you currently. Northwest.
Ew.
So all of the round parts there on the edge, it looks like it's built on kind of like one of the tops of these mountains leading up, and then so you can see a series of, like, what Greppa believe there's like a series of houses around a central area. It's relatively thin. You don't know the scale of it, but then it looks like there's another path that leads off to the north, and Guruk points at it and says, "This is where Greppa said she believed that direction is where the dragon's den is, further up the mountain. But the paths that lead up the mountain, unfortunately, unless you have quite adept skill at climbing would either have to go through the village or up sheer cliffs.
That might be a problem. I think I'd be able to manage, but I'd...
Nox's gears are turning, but not in a good way.
Fuck no. Oh no. I think I have an idea, but I don't want to give it power.
Comic mischief.
Do you think... I mean, we were barely able to take out 3 of them. The efforts of our training had become apparent. We were able to take out 3 of them before we were barely able to survive an encounter with 2. To deal with several, we're going to need something else.
A distraction.
Distraction's not enough to take off the heads of frost giants.
And you make enough noise in a certain direction near the village, I'm sure they'll come strutting out.
And once they come strutting out, then what?
We sneak into the village.
And sneak past them.
Well, I mean, they'd be gone at that point.
So you want to empty the village, and then we sneak into the village, and then go through to the dragon's lair?
Unfortunately, I don't think, except for Magdohr, he's ungodly quiet as of late. I'm not sure what the secret to that is. As like they look at Magdohr extremely quiet, like for some reason. I don't think Nox fully knows that he has chitin armor. Besides the fact he has new armor. I mean, do you have a way that we could try sneaking in? I mean, no offense, I have a way up the cliffs if it came down to it. As I kind of showed the cloak and whatnot, but I don't really have a way to help beyond that.
I need you all to make history checks.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 17.
Oops, I rolled an 8.
I rolled a solid 3. Hey Glenn, asking for a friend. Can I intimidate or perform sometime? You know, that'd be great.
I mean, if you guys get in a circumstance that merits it, yeah.
Let's start a festival.
A festivus? Nick,
Alright, Aiken.
you remember that you guys have a portable hole
Wait, when did we get that?
and a person that can fly.
Where do we get the portable hole?
I thought you guys had a portable hole.
Yeah, we have a portable
No,
hole.
Lord Neverember had one.
Yes, we have a
I mean,
portable
yes,
hole.
we had a
shit.
portable hole.
Sorry.
We stole
Nope.
it.
I'm sorry.
Magdohr stomps off
I
in
must have
anger.
been... Don't
Wait,
you guys have a bag of holding at
Magdohr-
least?
No.
No.
No,
No?
you ain't give us that. We're
No,
not
we got
good
a
enough for you,
motherfucking
Glenn.
boat.
And...
Can I make the boat levitate?
Instant fortress.
Yeah, no, we got good stuff, just-
A 3D bottle. It's just we don't have a portable hole. But what Vol was going to suggest was, or say rather, can't you make people fly? Because I remember you did that. Was it to Magdohr? And no, Vol wasn't there. Never mind. Retcon that Vol wasn't there when Nox made him fly all the way up to the top of the totem to get the scribblies in.
Did ask him if he wanted to fly. You said... He asked you if you wanted to fly, and you said, no, I don't. I'd rather keep my feet on the ground. I remember that very pointedly.
And you were also very there when I lifted a very, very plastered Magdohr to where he turned into a
Yes.
vomit sprinkler
Yes.
system
So
when we
if
first
you
started
were
getting him
Twin
on a boat.
levitate and then fly up with them?
I have no problem attempting to scale a cliff. I'd be able to do that. It'd be dangerous, but if
I mean, we
you-
could try. Don't we all have tokens? As I like show the Featherfall token.
Father, is there any who would fight if we were to take on the Frost Giants?
Of course. We have, of those among us who are able-bodied, we have 8, including myself.
Does that include
And I
Tron?
like the idea that you brought up earlier about going after the dragon first, because as you said, we have no... Prior to this, we had no qualm with the giants, but it seems as though they've taken... I had no idea that there was any sort of malice in the giant's eyes when he killed Greppa, as I was not there. But if that's the case, maybe they are worth removing from this place.
Perhaps we should show them that there's something worse to fear than a dragon living in their attic. You don't have to kill them all necessarily. We don't even have to kill them. But it's gonna take a lot.
Can a
Guerrilla tactics and traps and the likes.
Goliath ride on one of the direwolves? You said there was 8 people and 8 direwolves? Plus the
Dice
2...
don't lie.
Yeah. Plus the 2... Does that count Grep and the chief?
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that direwolves are naturally faster than frost giants? I know mechanically I believe they do, but I wonder if if we'd be able to understand.
Magdohr thinks they are.
Make a nature check.
Giants.
Probably be a nature check, I think, just to understand, a creature's ability to move at what speed.
Okay. Like the thought process, I rolled a natural 1 first off. The natural thought process is if we can somehow lure them out, but still be at a safe distance that we can keep out of their lovely rock attacks that they just, seem to be very good at murdering direwolves with. Sorry, total of 5 if you needed an actual number.
Yeah, I mean, from your experience, you think they're faster. You're not sure if that's historically the case, but you've seen them both move, and just from your observations, the wolves seem to be a bit faster.
Wolves have to be faster. They have more legs on the ground, right?
And the alpha looks at you and nods, says we are indeed faster than them.
Would you be faster if you had a Goliath riding on you?
Would not affect us.
Is there a way to convince them to the frost giants to split apart? Maybe even just to grab one to ask a few questions.
Is your greatest asset. If you think you've met a prideful person or creature, you have yet to meet a frost giant. And even more so, a dragon.
You think we could challenge them?
I do not know if defeating one frost giant will mean the subjugation of the rest.
Do they have a chief?
Yes, they do.
What if
I think we need,
our chief
I think
were
we
to
need
fight
to kill
their
the dragon
chief?
first.
I will be honest with you. There is a good chance. Before they ousted us, the dragon had come to the village, and when he came, we were forced into our pens and not allowed to come out. And as we left, I did not see the chief. I believe that the only way the dragon subjugated them was by, in fact, killing their leader.
Is that the wolf talking? Or the alpha wolf? Alright.
Mm-hmm.
They recognize you, yes? They know you're the alpha of the pack?
He kind of growls a little bit and says, yes, but they do not respect me. Alpha is not in the words they use for me.
And he's gonna turn to Garuk.
Mutt.
And, not ignoring the wolf, but just kind of, Magdoring the point across. And he's gonna say, and do they recognize you as the chief of the current chief of the Val Nugoni?
I believe they did. I do not know anymore.
Wonder if we can get them to turn on the dragon.
Can we...
There's one thing...
I was gonna say, can we make you to the new chief?
And they kind of look at each other nervously, unknowingly. You can tell there's doubt in their eyes. And Garuk turns back and says, I do not believe so. They would only recognize one of their own or something more powerful, like a dragon. And as much as I like it, I will never be as powerful or as commanding as a 17-foot tall frost giant or an even larger dragon.
What if you made your castle out of thin
How
air?
about some...
I don't know how much they respect built things. They are similar to us in that they respect strength and the nature of things in the cycle. There's a reason why frost giants, for the most part, have not integrated themselves into civilized society. Much like us, we prefer it this way. So as impressive as it may be, I don't know if it would turn their respect towards you.
And Magdohr's gonna kind of sit down again and go quiet.
I think
What
if we
happens
were
if
to
there's-
present them with the head of the dragon, I think that would work well as intimidation, wouldn't it? Maybe more pride, the fact that we were able to do it, a small group of adventurers who'd have no place to belong on the spine came out and killed the very thing that threatens their lives.
Definitely an interesting prospect.
Would they allow...
Where's Trod right now?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Where is Trod right now? I'm asking us, Tyler.
Trot is out assisting people. He's not in the tent.
Trod has a fire giant belt, correct?
Well,
And a broken hand.
Yep. His arm is busted. You can also see that your father is pretty beat up, but not to a point where he wouldn't put himself in combat.
Do we...
Go for it, Tyler.
Well, I was trying to ask about it, privately, but frost giant belts, you were talking about something like that. Maybe not for the purpose of using them, but aesthetically. Were they still a thing that was gonna happen, or...
The crafting of them was unsuccessful. I will say what I do know about them, which is not a lot, but in my limited interactions with them over the years, they seem to value family, and their Jarl is the most important thing. That's what they call their community. It is more important than anything else to them. So they would only bend their knees as prideful creatures to something if it threatened that which they value most. So if you were able to defeat the dragon and bring proof of this, I think that they may be willing to stop their attacks. Maybe not submit themselves to us, but stop and bring peace again.
Would it be enough to negotiate them to leave this valley?
I don't know that, but I would think it would be a positive step, if anything. They have lived there for longer than we have lived here in this valley.
Can we kill the dragon?
We're sure as hell gonna try.
Will they allow us to pass to get to the dragon if we promise them freedom from it?
I don't know. As I said, I think they value their family, and if you show up promising to kill the dragon, I think they may think you're fools and kill you on the spot. That's what I would do if I were them. And it meant protecting my family, because you understand, if the dragon finds out that
they allowed us to pass, the dragon would turn on them.
And then, if you're not successful, he turns on them and kills more of their family.
Well, no offense, I'm not sweating that little detail at this point.
But they would be.
They would be. As Nox is getting, like, climbing gear ready. Like, yeah, just pulling out stuff and looking at it like, I'm gonna climb me a fucking
Can we
wall.
put your wings on my boat?
No. Yes? No. No. I asked God. God said no.
Wings attuned to a creature, not an item.
What if he levitated the boat?
What happens if I awaken the boat?
Awaken the boat?
I'm just making shit up, Glenn. Don't look into it.
Okay. No, I'm looking up levitate. I believe it has to be less than 500 pounds.
It's a paper boat.
Yes.
Yeah, but you want to have people in it, and that will make it way more than 500
Magdohr only
pounds.
weighs
There's nothing in the
250.
description that says it's paper.
So you by yourself are more than half the weight.
One spell.
Magdohr only weighs
One on
180.
Magdohr,
He's
one on
light.
bow.
He's a small boy. I'm changing that. Magdohr weighs 250.
With your items?
Yeah, no. Oh, with my items, way more than that.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah, he's still gonna weigh 250.
Are you guys that afraid of climbing a wall? Can't be that bad, right?
I'm not.
I've got my coin,
But
but
I'll train.
we lose the support of everybody else if we go up by ourselves.
The original plan was for the three of us anyways. Alpha, is there...
Also, just for what it's worth, I didn't realize
Yes.
this. I apologize to interrupt. But levitate can only raise something up to 20 feet.
At a time. Yeah.
Oh, is that for every action? Up to 20 feet
Yeah,
in
you
that
could-
6 seconds. Okay, so it's every 6 seconds it can rise 20 feet for 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Never mind. I apologize.
So, let's see. So, 10 times 10, so 100. 100 times 20 is
2,000.
2,000. So I can levitate something up to 2,000 feet up. But I have no idea. You're going to tell me it's 2,010 feet high wall.
I can jump the rest.
Sorry, Vol, what were you going to say?
Alpha, you've lived up on that mountain for a while. Is the only way further up through the village? Or climbing? Are those the only two options we have?
I believe so. This is why they chose the village's location, for its defensibility.
Alright. Then I propose the three of us, and if anybody's willing,
I'm not
Scaling.
interested in marriage right now, Vol. Thank you, though.
scaling the cliffside to go directly to the dragon's lair. Mainly to avoid confrontation with the frost giants and putting any of us at risk. Frost giants are not good people, as we have learned, but it's not like they're doing this necessarily out of their own will. we do not know whether that's the case or not. We learned that once we take care of the dragon. If they have been doing this of their own will entirely, then we will take care of them after.
And don't get me wrong, when we talk to them, if they turn on us, I have no problem attacking. I just don't feel comfortable searching for something to attack.
And just like for them, this time is going to be worse than the time we've gotten all those cows after they ate all the pot brownies. Like, the stakes have never been higher.
Yes.
I do worry about...
About what, Chief?
I worry
Grandpa?
that if you defeat the dragon and come to them with the head, as thankful as they may be, they are also opportunistic and survivors. If you were strong enough to defeat the dragon but are now depleted of resources and energy from fighting it, why would they not strike you down there?
I mean, you could always take a nap in the dragon.
We're not on Hoth.
Feels like it.
That's true.
I worry
They don't have
that-
to know if we killed it or not. If we just kill it and then, I don't know, throw it in, hide it in snow, and they just think the dragon's out and about. I don't think giants are that smart. It might take them at least 2 weeks before they know what's up.
Then what is to stop them from continuing to attack us if they simply believe that the dragon is out of its cave for the moment, for a few days?
Chief Garuk, that is called a long-term plan. We're currently focused on the short term. We'll
I'm
have 2
focused
weeks
on the
to do plenty of...
survivability of my village, and if they continue to attack us, we will be eliminated or we will leave.
Okay, Grandpa.
And I worry for you. If you do this plan, maybe it would be better for you to come here with the head of the dragon and we can come together. A united front, Goliath, wolves, and the heroes who defeated the dragon to present this to them.
That sounds like part of the long-term plan. I'm fine with that.
If things go well, after we beat the dragon, we could just jump off the cliff.
Right,
What?
we picked up those coins.
Oh, okay.
We had these coins that'll allow us to fall safely.
Oh, I was worried. I was thinking, Master Dwarf, your life, if you succeed, why would you end your life so...
It's fine,
Willingly.
Father. You've taught me well. I wouldn't follow my friends if they were to jump off a cliff without good reason.
Good.
I mean, what if Magdohr got the wings off the dragon and proceeded to fly? That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yes.
Finally
Maybe
make
with
that
the leather...
paraglider.
I was gonna say, maybe with the leather of the wings, you can make that contraption you were talking about. Nox.
You'd have to have an incredible amount of stamina in order to go something that high up, though.
I think I'm okay with this plan. Specifics of delivering the head, I hadn't really nailed down too much because not sure of the specifics, but your suggestion would work better. That way we'd at least, if things were to go sideways, have a fighting chance.
How will you let us know if something goes wrong?
I'm gonna look over.
Because if you're unsuccessful, we will leave.
I'm gonna look over at Grep
Mm.
and Nox, and look at him and say, "Grep, would
can
you
leave
come fight with us?
Craven here.
If Nox can levitate you up."
By himself, he probably weighs more than 500 pounds.
Never mind then.
He's the size of a horse, so he looks at you and just shakes his head.
I retract that statement. I'm gonna pull out the figurine of wondrous power. So if things go poorly, I'll send this here.
I was gonna say, if I died, Craven would poof, if that means any consolation.
So you would let us know.
I mean, Craven would, technically, yes.
Yeah,
I suppose Grep could accompany you to the edge of the forest where the old village was and stay quiet, stay safe, and hide in a place, and then you could let him know and he could return with whatever creature you have in that statue. I know he probably wants to go with you, at least to be nearby.
I think we could figure out those details, but we should also start taking stock of what we have at our disposal. And as Volt says that, he's gonna pull out a few things. He's gonna pull out... basically, Volt's been unknowingly treating this as... Well, I've knowingly been treating this as a war council, so to speak. And so he's gonna pull out his walloping arrows, his instant fortress, and his 3D bottle and lay them out. Along with his regular swords, and say, this is what I have. And Volt's gonna kind of look at Magdohr, because Volt knows as a magic user, Nox probably doesn't have as many trinkets like these, or at least that's what Volt's assumption is right now. So he's gonna maybe more wait for Magdohr. Volt's making an assumption here. He's making an ass out of himself.
Magdohr's just going to pull out his Dwarven Thrower and Beautiful, his other Warhammer, and that's it.
That and the armor.
Nox takes out the poison berries. Nox currently has 9.
What happened to the 10th?
I believe... Tyler saying this, I believe somebody asked for 1. And so
okay.
I made sure it was canon that I had 9 at a certain point. Something to do with, like, I think when we were taking care of the Yetis in the episode that never existed. RIP. The
Yetis.
Nox kind of looks at their random stuff. They got a Candle of the Deep. They got the Wings of Flying and the Ring of Free Action. They don't have anything too crazy, but they kind of look at the Obsidian Dagger and just glancing at it for a second, and they pause and go, I don't have any, silly magic trinkets.
I can also...
I got a Warhammer.
I can also improve our weapons. I can make your sword do fire damage. And then I can...
That might come in handy.
I can also give you a +1 on your armor. Reinforce your armor. And of course, I can channel Moradin and make something. I don't have any tools, so I can only do that twice.
Is there, and this time Vol's looking at his father, is there any way for the upcoming fight, or is there any armor that I could use?
I mean, most of it is ceremonial, as we know we don't usually like to wear armor. Anything more than an animal skin is too much.
Right.
In my opinion.
I figure animal skin won't do much against the maw of a dragon. And Vol says that with a chuckle a little bit.
No, but your tattoo should help you.
Right. These arrows should help knock the dragon down for a little bit. That should help us with a few things.
What? Grandpa,
Tyler,
are you making weird finger motions?
Tyler, did you see the thing that I sent you?
Where did he send it to me?
In Roll20. I've sent you 2 things.
Oh, no, I have not.
There's 2 whispers to you. One about that dragon you recognized earlier that could do magic, and then something else that is only recently popped up. What's up, Magdohr?
I mean...
Magdohr is going to look at the council and say, while we do this, we'll probably need your guys' help too. I've no doubt that the fight will be loud, and the frost giants will probably hear the battle going on. Is there a way you could distract them once the battle starts and try to pull their attention away?
I don't know how we would. We could bring them somewhere and challenge them, but I'm sure they would not send the whole village, and I'm not sure if we could withstand the onslaught.
I was just thinking...
And as they're having this conversation, real quick, you'll be continuing. Nox, you hear a voice in your head as you kind of hear that same familiar voice in your own mind, that of Mother, that says,
Nox is like mid-picking their nose and all of a sudden,
plunge my dagger into the dragon as it dies, and I will tell you who your parents are and where you can find them.
Mamma mia, holy shit, that's a...
Do you say that out loud?
Just turns their head randomly. Yeah, just randomly, just like, what the fuck?
Nox, are you okay?
Is there a gas leak in here?
No, it seems. Do you need to take a break? Do you need to take a walk?
I need to take 3 walks. Excuse me.
Sure.
Like Nox pulls themselves together and walks out of the tent into the cave. Is there anybody? There's probably other Goliaths in the cave, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just milling about, getting other tents set up, putting up drying racks, things like that for meat, and some of them gathering supplies that look like they may be at least making sure they're ready for a possibility of combat.
Nox looks like they have to take a shit and they're running outside as fast as they can.
If you kind of give you a glance, but then just, they've been around you. You do weird things sometimes, so they just let you pass by.
Just gotta take a shit. Pardon me. Excuse me. Oh, goodness.
Well, now that happened, what I was thinking was, what if you, Alpha, and Grep go out and freeze their houses and then run?
And Grep looks at you and says some words in common. It seems like he's picking some things up. He says, "Cannot freeze."
But I saw you. Would Magdohr have known that it wasn't freezing? Yeah.
You didn't get the same... Yeah, it was not an icy blast. It was like a weird kind of... It was still cold in and of its nature. But not ice or cold. Cold to the touch, not cold as in cold. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
An avalanche. Is there any way to cause an avalanche?
Yes. But I think that may affect us more negatively than them, as we are at the bottom of 2 valleys.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, Grep was saved by Greppa after being hit by but one attack from one of these giants. I am worried about a head-on, any sort of, direct conflict with them. I would much rather protect our new allies and use them in a way that is safer. Obviously, none of it can be truly safe, but just more respectful of the limits that we've seen them up against prior. I don't mind you flying up there and challenging the dragon. But as our good wolf friend pointed out, the Alpha said that his pride is greater than that of even the giants. Most likely. So if you can appeal to that pride, I don't know if the giants will come rushing to the aid of their captor.
I think, and this is dangerous for me to say, but I think we'll be fine. I think if we were to leave Craven here as a sign for whether or not we perish, because Craven being summoned by magic by Nox will disappear should we perish. Should we fail to take care of Cryovane. We have a bunch of trinkets and Vol picks up the instant fortress. This will give us some defense should things get dire. Vol not knowing, but player me knowing that if I get it to expand close enough, it'll take some damage. And then this was left in case of emergency, and I think the note was open when you need help, and I'd like to think we'll need help against a dragon. These arrows will be able to knock it down and stagger it just enough for us to give strike it a few times. We have these tattoos that'll give us protection to some extent against its cold attacks, its attacks of ice. I think we'll be okay.
So you confront the dragon with the tools that you've gained and been given, and come back, and then we attempt to persuade the giants to stop their course of action. Is this agreeable
Yes.
with you? As you three would be taking the most risk. Well, I don't know what your friend is doing. And that's when we'll cut to a apparently poopful Nox running outside. You run outside making that noise. There's a couple wolves sitting outside that seem very alarmed as their hackles come on end at the odd noise coming out. And then they see it's you and just kind of settle a little bit, but still give you an odd eye as they sit back down facing outward from the open of the cave, and you're able to make your way wherever you want to go.
Hi, Poppy. Bye, Poppy. Hi, Poppy. Bye, Poppy. Nox runs into the woods, literally looking like they got a, drop trow. As soon as they get within, 30 feet in the woods, they look for a small tree and immediately Eldritch blast it.
Okay, you Eldritch blast the tree, and seeing it fall down and having blown up a couple, bushes in a bit, the snow falls out of the tree limbs and powdery, obscuring your vision and revealing that on the other side of this tree, about 20 feet away, was the matriarch who was walking past at the time, apparently on patrol, and she stops and looks at you and turns her head just a bit.
I'm ready to stab the dagger right into the stump. I'm like, hey, Nox double finger gun. How are you?
She just looks at you.
Okay. You know what? Our little secret. I'm gonna put the dagger in the stump, and I look into it and I go, could you repeat what you just said to me approximately 45 seconds ago, Mother?
And as you look at the dagger stabbed into the stump, it simply glows ever so slightly at you.
Mother, are you putting me on mute? Is this thing on? And I tap it a couple of times.
And from the dagger itself, you hear a voice that says, "Do not make me repeat myself, or I will rescind my offer."
Sorry, Mother. I was with friends.
And the wolf looks scared, on alert, hearing the voice, looks around for a person, sniffs the air, and starts to look around and make a circle around you, looking for whoever's making this voice.
Nox prostrates themselves to Mother.
The wolf comes up to you, and you feel the wolf sniffing you, and then sniffing the dagger and growling ever so slightly.
Matriarch, can you not sniff Mom? That's kind of rude.
With that, she sulks away, hackles fully up, still bearing her fangs, backing away, not turning her back to you, though, face back. And then about 40 feet away, she kind of makes her way back on her assumed patrol, where she was going. Not headed back towards the entrance of the cave, but just off into the snowy wilderness.
Man, it seems like nobody really likes this dagger. I mean, it's my mom. Come on, guys.
I'll lock the dagger. It's made of obsidian.
Magdohr, you followed me?
Magdohr cast message.
Do the fucking solid rock and trees. You know where my parents are?
Yes.
Does that mean they're still alive?
No voice.
Toss a coin to your changeling. No response. Okay.
Yeah, that's what no voice means. It's silent. The only sound is the pitter-patter of the light frozen rain and the winds.
Go ahead and cut back to Magdohr because Nox is going to be staring there expecting an answer.
Okay, cool.
We
cut back into the war
going to take
room.
a minute for them to realize.
Yeah. Back to the war room as Nox stares at the dagger in the stump.
Magdohr, do you have any other thoughts before we commit to this plan? Not the most complicated. It might not be the most ingenious or cunning, but that's not how Goliaths aren't used to that. And I think this is as much intelligence that you'll get from us. A little bit more directed at one being rather than an entire village of frost giants.
Magdohr's going to look at the chief, the alpha, and Rep, and say, I thank you all for being willing to help us, and I'll gladly take that help if we need it with the frost giants, but I think this is something we have to do ourselves for now. And we will be back, I think.
At least one of us will.
So we should make sure to have your, and this is the wolf, it says we should make sure to have your odd friend back here to make sure that they are comfortable with this as well, as you three would be at most risk. You three must agree. And as a council meeting, I think it's important that we see this happening and we see your agreement so that we understand that you understand the risks.
I agree. And then Vol's gonna look at Magdohr. Do you want to go get them this time, or should I?
I'll go. You spend some last few minutes with your father, and then Magdohr walks out the tent.
That's not at all ominous.
And he begins walking towards Nox.
The twist, it's not Vol that dies.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay.
Yeah, like if you were to cut back over to Nox, like Nox is like doing backflips in a like a circle around this stump with the dagger in it, like waiting for a response at this point. Like, mom, mama, 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 mommy.
And that's what you woke up on, Magdohr. You don't hear him in the snow because he's got boots of Elvenkind.
Wait, I do?
You don't.
You don't hear me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, Magdohr, you walk up and see that happening. And eventually, rotating in your circle, you do see Magdohr walking up, but only before he's definitely heard a few of the mama repeats.
Right, like I'm on my arms fully vertical the other way, and like I'm oh, Magdohr, as I like fall face first into the snow.
I'm gonna put my real arm on his shoulder, or on their shoulder. Say, it's okay. I'll miss my mom too.
Are your parents alive, Magdohr?
Last I knew, it's been about 6 months or so.
Hmm. Well, it's been, I mean, it's a rough approximation. 14 years, 9 months, 11 days, 3 hours. Nox looks at the sun. Give or take 30 seconds.
What is it now?
Tyler cannot physically repeat that. Repeat that and add 10 seconds.
Roll for deception.
Good one, though.
But yeah, Magdohr says, I know I'm not good for talking, but if you need somebody to talk to, I'm funny.
Nox tries to go from like full on back straight up to vertical. Just like that, kind of like you're on your back and you do like the kick to get up. And they go, well, since we're being open with each other, and Nox is going to look at the dagger before they continue what they're about to say. Do they feel like in a presence that they shouldn't say anything that in regards to their contract?
Magdohr is going to see the dagger.
You don't get any...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you don't get any sort of like inherent feelings. Like,
when you look over, Magdohr sees the dagger. He says, oh, you shouldn't put your dagger in a tree stump like that. And he goes to remove it.
Magdohr.
Grab it.
I am slowly reaching towards it.
He's slow motion, a bead of sweat. Magdohr. And I'm going to mage hand snatch it out of the stump before he can.
okay, so let's do this. Will be your spellcasting ability modifier against sleight of hand from Magdohr.
Cool.
I got a 14.
And I rolled natural 20 for 24.
Well, that's your Oh yeah, I said spellcasting ability. Yeah, you pull it out
I
with
mean, if
the.
you want to make it higher, feel free.
What's the mage hand's the amount of weight it can pull though?
I mean, it says
There's no
the
specific.
exact weight of the obsidian dagger.
Stuff to do with
It's not
stump.
necessarily the weight of the dagger that's the issue. It's the fact that it's been stabbed into wood that I don't know if you'd be able to pull
doesn't
it
have
out.
very high strength, so it's probably not stabbed into the wood very far.
Well, yeah, but if the thing can carry 5 pounds, I guarantee you Nox can carry more than 5 pounds. By a long
I have 10
shot.
pounds of pulling power.
Okay, yeah, it was a good enough roll. Yeah, it pulls the dagger out. Where do you bring it?
That's... And, like, Magdohr, what did your mom tell you about touching other people's toys?
Nothing.
Oh.
Well, this is awkward. As I pull the dagger, pass him towards me.
One thing... What is your passive perception, Magdohr?
13. Let me double check. Yep, 13.
You notice that a bit of the obsidian is still buried in the wood. It's like the part of the tip probably chipped off of the dagger.
Is that canon? Magdohr. Yeah, I noticed that. I don't touch it. I just gesture to it and say, "See, now you need. I can't work on obsidian. I can't fix this."
What are you talking about?
Look.
As Nox pulls the dagger.
Yeah, and when it gets
show
closer, you can see that like a bit of the side has been taken off. Some of it has gotten lodged in the wood.
Do I have any kind of recollection what this could possibly mean at this point?
I don't think there's any precedence for it. You've always been very cautious with this thing.
No, actually, no. I always stab it into wood.
You always stab it into wood? Yeah, you do. But it was because of the quick removal. Normally you're able to go, okay, I stab it, and then I go, okay. But like you were trying to wrench it away from him, and the purpose of that pull was to try and keep it away from him, not to carefully remove it, I guess is the logic there.
Okay. Well, it broke. Nox heads over and tries to pull out the sliver out of the stump.
As you like reach down in there, you realize that it's kind of like stuck in that kind of like hard point, the wood being, able to, what is it? Swell with, so you put the knife in there, it caused it pushed the, a little bit, since wood is sort of porous. And then when it was removed, it kind of like closed just ever so slightly, making it difficult. And you reach in to try and pull it out, and you see it absorb into the wood of this stump that you had attacked with Eldritch Energy earlier. And the stump itself begins to turn to a blackened, charred, dark color as that color permeates the wood. And it was dead because you had blown the top off of it, but the wood itself had not died, and it looks like it just becomes decrepit and aged and dead in front of your eyes, both of you.
Oh,
did this stump just eat part of the dagger?
I think that's a magic obsidian dagger. I think you turned it into necrotic.
The dagger?
The stump.
Well, what do we do with the stump?
Do we notice it spreading to
I look at
ground at all? Or is it staying in the stump?
It seems as though it follows the roots of the stump into the ground, but it doesn't actually affect the because most of the ground is covered by snow. You can't see. There's no like living grass or anything to see if it checks, unless you want to move the snow out of the way.
Oh, Bull always gets mad when I do weird magic stuff that I can't control. What did I do this time? As Nox is desperately looking at the stump and kicking out of the snow and seeing where the magic travels.
Yeah, it's just the tree. It doesn't seem to have spread past the tree.
Is this magic wood now? Am I supposed to make a... When I look at the dagger, am I supposed to make a dagger out of wood now?
I can fabricate something from it if you want.
Try. Do you think you can see it? If you can get the sliver back? It's kind of like a puzzle. If it's missing a piece, it doesn't seem like it's going to do much good.
And then out loud, are you still holding the dagger with Mage Hand?
I would probably say at this point, once I really I was looking to see that the part broken off, I would have taken it from the Mage Hand to look at it.
Okay. Yeah, you hear out loud from the dagger. Which, when you look back at it, you've been looking at the ground trying to check. It looks like the dagger itself is no longer missing a chip. Somehow. And a voice comes from it that you recognize as Mother, out loud, and says, "Plunge it into the heart of the dragon."
Who's that?
Nox is full on anime bulging eyes at this point, and like first off, the dagger fixed itself, but heavy sweating. Like,
is that Algira?
Can they? Nox is can't respond to Magdohr. Like, they're like 2 and 2 together. Like, all right, in their head, it's like Raven Queen is offering potentially to tell the location of Nox's family parents, because that's not a D&D trope in itself. Won't say if they're dead or not, but, you know, who knows? But, more importantly, in order to get that information, plunge this dagger, which split off a part of itself and regenerated into a living object and corrupted into whatever this dark, twisted corruption of a fucking stump is. Do you think Nox could put something together to figure out what that could mean and if that's technically good or bad?
Wisdom saving. This would be an insight check, yeah.
Okay, fuck. 17.
Yeah, she probably wants to make something for herself. You don't know, she doesn't really seem to, like, want to hurt people actively, but she's not against doing it to get what she wants. So, is it evil? Maybe? You don't know what she plans on using it for, but it could be bad.
Am I about to make fucking Sindragosa?
Yeah, I inspect the wood. Do I notice anything?
You touch the wood, and the first thing you realize is that as you touch it, it turns to ash.
This is just like
it was as if it's like it decayed in front of your eyes. All life has left this, and it turns, you feel, and it's at first it's a pile, and then it's like the pieces of that get picked up by the wind, and then those pieces drift into the wind and disappear into nothing.
Well, better make sure we cut the head off before we put that dagger in the dragon.
Like, Nox, before they saw that, first thought was, what would happen if they stab Magdohr? But upon seeing everything turn to ashes, like,
Magdohr turns around and Nox has the knife in the air.
And you hear out loud, as Magdohr says, we better cut the head off that dragon before we plunge it into its heart. You hear, no. While it's alive. Also, Vol, they've been gone for a long time. It's been like 20 minutes. Do you want to have done anything or go after them or do anything?
I don't know. That depends. Like, what happens here? Like, I'm imagining a situation where we have
your father and the Alpha are getting restless. You can tell that they're looking back and forth, and at some point or another, your father says, "Where are they?"
Well, so what I was getting at was more like, you have to imagine if you have like these 3 old tired men who are there in business in a tent, and all of a sudden they just start chatting. Would they just get lost in conversation, or would
these two, like, guys unknowingly?
It's happening right now in real life, so
these two guys honestly don't have that much to talk about. It's obvious they're not really used to interacting with people outside of their respective groups. So it's a little awkward, but eventually that tension comes into him going, where are they? You know them better than us. Where could they have gone? It's been 20 minutes. We need to get this plan in action. Time is of the essence.
I'll go find them. Vol's saying this as he stands up and he's getting ready to head out. For all we know, they're probably doing some magical bullshit or something's dying, or they found something to blow up or something. You hear this trail off as Vol leaves, and he goes to look for them.
Okay. So
Nox's first.
You come out, and they're both just mindlessly kind of standing around what looks like a gap in the ground,
right?
With bits of wood around them, and they're just kind of standing there in the snow with weird looks, like confused looks on their faces. In that moment where we just went back to Vol, so you're all together.
Are their backs turned towards me?
I would say one of them is. Odds are even, boys. Magdohr and Nox. Odds are evens.
Are you?
Never tell me the odds. I want evens.
Okay. Yeah. I rolled a 6 on a d6. That is an even number. So, Nox, you do have your back to them. Magdohr, you see them in your peripherals as they walk up. Well, I didn't tell you which one was gonna get it.
Okay. So as soon as I see Vol, then I'm gonna say, I think Nox's magic talking dagger can help us kill the dragon.
Nox is
I'm
like,
sorry.
Did you? Did you just say magic talking dagger?
Look.
I'm gonna like message Vol and go, Vol, he thinks his hand is a god. I made him the hand talk. I'm just pulling a goof on him.
May I insight check what Nox just said to me?
I mean, you do know that
deception
he was
check
faking
from
on
you,
me.
Nox.
That's good. I'd give you an inspiration point if I could.
Yeah.
This should be easy.
I mean, I have a +7. I think that's instant beating, but
I rolled a...
well,
yeah. Okay, you can see this. Yes, I rolled a 5 on my insight.
Yeah.
and
I mean,
it was a pretty shitty lie with a 9 in deception, but
yeah. If he was looking at your face, that would have mattered, but he was listening to your voice. We'll say
yeah,
something like that.
My poker
Tonality was
face
great.
is like,
Yeah, so absolutely, yeah. Even as odd as it sounds, you don't think he's lying about that. Magdohr's believed weirder things before.
Magdohr, you know your hand can't talk to you, right?
And I look at the hand that's been on my shoulder for the last 5 episodes that nobody's talked about. And, you can't?
behold, it is I, Andy. Of course I can talk. As I cast message on Magdohr.
And do we have to see if I believe that?
Yeah. So we use that new deception checks against a new insight, I guess.
Thank God. No offense.
Wow. I got a 13 at a +8.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, +6.
And,
Yep.
and a 24 in deception. Yeah, that's handy Andy.
My hand can talk, and his dagger can talk, and his dagger can help us kill the dragon. Let's go.
We've been taking too long. Come.
I
They're going
quietly put
restless.
the dagger away.
Again, like, I want to actively avoid metagaming, but then at this point, it makes sense that Vol might pay a little bit attention to the dagger as Nox is handling it, because Magdohr is claiming that the dagger could talk. Would there be anything specific that would stand out to Vol that maybe it had not noticed before now?
Well, you do notice that it looks like now that you're closer, it was just what looks like a hole in the ground, which you could imagine would be like the effect of, Nox blowing something up, as they tend to do when they're frustrated or whatever.
No.
But you saw it the night before. But it looks like, on top of the fact that it looks like a tree exploded here, there's splinters all over. It also looks like there used to be a tree, but it's as if it did, like, the hole in the ground, like, you can see where the roots were.
It's not been dug up, it's just, like, disappeared from
it's
existence.
Like a cast of a tree that is no longer there suddenly. Like, that wouldn't happen unless somebody just pulled the tree out. But then, even then, you would pull against the earth. It's all, that is very
things
odd.
would get displaced, yeah.
Yeah, so there something is weird maybe going on here, so if you wanted to keep an eye on that, sure.
Could I establish a personality trait that is only discernible by those who are perceptive, that when Nox flat out lies, his ears turn slightly red?
Sure. I love it.
Okay, then I shall add that to my character sheet.
I think Vol is wise enough to say as we're walking back to the tent, or at least trying to lead the party back to the tent, do not know what the two of you have been up to for so long, but whoever used whatever magic here, because something is not right, I'm going to need to know the full story before we go up there. As Vol tries to walk away. I think, like, out of character, I think that's fair for Vol to say. I think that's a fair deduction, yeah. I want to make sure that I'm not being too metagamey, but yeah, that's what Vol would say.
As we're walking...
It's odd. That's weird.
As we're walking to the tent, Magdohr's just going to mumble out, I already told you what happened. And then sit down.
Maybe you should have been more persuasive, Magdohr.
I'm going to look over to my hand and say, you shut up.
And your hand just flicks you on the chin.
Jeez.
And it flicks you on the chin, and with its other fingers, it with the one finger that it flicked you with, it points at Nox, and then pulls your chin back towards it, and then does the no sign.
Yeah, Magdohr's going to ignore it for now. He saw it. Just
fair.
He just got flicked in the chin by this hand. Why is he going to listen to it?
In 2 days, he'll go, oh my gosh! Great, so yeah, you make your way back into the tent, and a relieved Alpha and Garuk await you, and they say, so, you all accept the risk? If we are going to put this plan in action, then we should do it soon.
Right. Nox, not too much deviation from what we discussed, but basically we are to go up, scale the cliff, fight the dragon, kill the dragon, retrieve the head, come back here, and then face the frost giants with the dire wolves and my village and reconcile, or attempt to.
We can do that. The question is whether or not we'll need to actually climb, or if we can rely on my magic to get us up there. I don't know how...
Go, finish.
I don't know how tall the cliffs are, but we can either make it very easy or very strenuous. But, I mean, climbing cliffs shouldn't be that hard, right? It's like dodging upright.
I should be fine in terms of scaling the cliffs. It'll be difficult, but I should be okay. I think you'd be able to use your magic for you and Magdohr.
It's a shame I can't... Wish I was able to turn into a bird or something. I turn my arms into bits of feathers and stuff just for a second, just to see what it looks like.
What is this fantasy of Faerun? Are you a druid now?
Good show. So that the my father here and the Alpha wanted to hear us verbally agree to this because we'd be taking a whole lot of risk on ourselves.
I mean, don't we always?
And that's true, willingly or not. Nox, is this plan okay with you?
I am ready for this. Yes.
It would mean that you'd have to leave Craven here as well, in case either if we were to forfeit our lives, Craven would disappear and then my village would know to leave.
You can look like one, but you don't gain any racial stats or abilities.
Okay. Basically, for those who are curious, I was like, can I actually turn into an Aarakocra? And it's like, yeah, you can. You'll be convincing as hell as long as you don't go up.
Go fly.
Unless you have your wings on.
But then you'd be using your wings on your cloak, not your arms on your arm, which is what the Aarakocra used to fly.
He just flap his arms really fast.
I could be a wingless Aarakocra, and some reason my magic
You'd have
turns
advantage
into
on your
wings.
deception check, so yeah.
I would hope so, because I believe if I'm trying to convince somebody that I'm somebody, I have advantage on my deceptions as a changeling.
It has to do with your illusion, yeah.
But
I still like the idea of being the white dragonborn D's nuts and convincing them that...
Father, I have returned.
And the Alpha says, and when you were gone, we discussed sending myself, the Matriarch, and Grep with you to take you there to get you to the edge of the forest faster. Expedite your travel.
I'm ready to go now.
Okay. Nox is looking at their staff of power that's currently at 11 out of 20 charges, and like Tyler as a player hates seeing their phone battery at 50%, but sometimes you can't tell everybody to wait 10 hours just to charge up a staff. So it's like Nox just kind of looks and goes, "Yeah, I'm ready to." We said one levitate.
Let's
Is there something else you needed to do?
I mean, unless you got a USB charger.
I would like to think we should leave in the morning. I would like to prepare myself more mentally. First time fighting a dragon. I would just like to be as ready as I can be.
And it won't be our last.
You leave before
Don't
first
jinx
light
it.
if we wait the night.
Understood.
How much time do I have before I need to take a nappy nap?
You wish to sleep? You have until first light tomorrow.
So
if
about,
this is what Bull wants.
yes, 10 hours or so.
Gonna be 10 hours and like 3 minutes.
Sure.
I mean, it'll regain the charges at dawn, right? We'd be en route, so...
Nox has been waiting patiently to try out these wings of flying, and they want to stretch their wings, so to speak.
So you're
I
gonna
think I
fly
need to
in the tent? In the meeting with them when they're asking if you're ready? If you agree with this? You're just gonna go and fly away?
Peace out.
No, I was
Okay.
asked. I asked what time it was, how much time I have before I got to take a long rest.
Oh, and that's what you're... Okay, yeah. And they just, once again, reiterate, so this is agreeable if you leave in the morning at first light?
But
Yes.
if we have to.
It'll give you some time to prepare.
Okay.
As
We
you
have
wish.
a tent ready for you. We will let you retire there, as we all have things to do, and you especially. Time to prepare mentally, physically, for the task at hand. But until then, let us know if you have anything else we can do for you, but your time is your own until then.
Unless you happen to have a weapon lying around that happens to be a dragon-killing weapon. The only thing I can
wait.
do is focus on the task.
Magdohr's gonna
Oh?
reach into a pouch of holding and pull out his middle finger.
You just
a
hear Nox go,
common,
"Damn!"
A common civilized insult, Father. Were this not such a serious situation, I'd find that humorous.
Magdohr's just laughing. Takes a drink from his alchemy jug.
The people off the spine do strange things in times of stress. But I think we will not need for anything else until we leave.
I shall prepare for battle. I'm going for a walk again. Is this acceptable?
Your time is your
I do
own,
not-
grandson.
I don't need the shit this time. Thank you, grandfather. Nox runs
Is
like
it
he needs
curtain
the
on?
shit again.
Okay. Nox once again books it like the wind out, as if he needs to poop.
Glenn, I would like you to decide what is the command word.
For the wings?
Yes.
Avios.
You bird. Spell that out.
AVIOS.
I thought he
SOS.
said adios.
Avios.
Avios, amigos, as you see wings. They describe it like, I guess there's like a choice, like a types of wings, so like bat wings or bird wings. I think it would be fitting that they turn into black raven wings as
Okay.
they spring from Nox's back, and you see like Nox like running, and like, oh shit, I'm supposed to, how do you flap these fucking things? And Nox like starts to try to flapping up, trying to get airborne. It's like, how hard do you think it would be for Nox to learn how to fly?
If you're attuned to the item, you know how to use it. So maybe a slight amount of adjustment, but it wouldn't take you long.
Like, they get up like maybe a few feet and they start dragging a little bit. It's like, as a person, I can't imagine what it would be like to have wings coming out of your back or whatnot to give them flight. And Nox is like, I just need a little bit more. I'm gonna shove the staff of power backwards like a broom between Nox's legs and cast haste on myself. And I'm going to zoom.
And the wings from the Wings of Flying come from the cloak. They don't actually connect to your back.
That is true, yes.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't know if that was the case, but it apparently is not. But either way, yeah, so you cast haste on yourself?
Zoomies.
Yeah, and it says bird wings on your back, so it's like your opinion if whether or not that counts as attached to the back
or just
this on
turns
the back.
The cloak into a pair of bat wings or bird wings on your back, and the cloak is also on your back, so...
Okay.
Like the cloak doesn't. Yeah. No, they're just the cloak transforms, but they come from where they would need to do it. But you could still remove the Wings of Flying, even if they were wings. Like if they were transformed, you could still take it off. You know.
I believe you, Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby. I believe that gives me 120 flying speed, plus I can dash, so...
Mm-hmm. Fly on out of
Hornet.
there.
Yep. Imagine the two fucking direwolves just sitting there at the edge of the cave there, and all of a sudden... Oh, Glenn's about to roll to see whether or not there's another dragon in the area.
You
just
crash
fly
right in
out.
the cryo vein, dagger piercing his heart.
How convenient. Arc over.
Okay, I don't want to hold up anymore. Nox just wants to fly, and you just hear it like increasing and decreasing the volume depending on how fast or where they're going. Just it's like
Just
they're
screaming in the air.
Yes,
That might attract a dragon.
so
Good
be
way
it.
to get the battle on the ground, right?
All right. Well, I mean, it's gonna lead them to all of your injured people. So
You know what's
in a
amazing, Glenn?
cave.
You're on Roll20 now, aren't you? I'm so proud
I
of you.
am. Yeah. I usually use
Let's
it.
roll for
but
dragon.
No, I haven't used it in this. Yeah. So yeah, no, you fly around screaming in the air for a minute, and at that point you are exhausted and you have to stop moving.
Yeah, I like power glide downwards.
Yeah, you can power glide. You just have a speed of 0, so you hover or drop a little bit. What are you guys doing after Nox flies out of the cave?
I just went to our tent and started drinking.
Great. With the intent of being inebriated?
Yep. I got nothing else to do
You drink
today.
yourself to sleep is what it will be.
I'm
if
trying
you
to speed
just go
up the
fast enough.
campaign here.
No, I mean, you just want to go drink until you're sleepy and then fall asleep?
Yep,
Perfect.
that's it.
Vol?
Vol would be doing. Vol's nervous, a little stressed, but in like a good way. More of in like an innate challenge competition thing. This is his big creature. This is it. His father fought a fire giant. No, was it a fire giant? Both his brother and his father fought giants of like stronger variety of giants compared to the frost giants. And so this is gonna be Vol's big thing. So he's gonna be you're gonna see him like doing some light warm-ups and stretching and like swinging his swords and shit outside the tent right before he sleeps. He's gonna be meditating a little bit, going through the whole like fucking Dragon Ball mental training thing, but not as intense or not as like super hyper realistic, but just more like going over the plan and then going over like, this is what I could possibly do. See, yeah, that was the simulation of the mental training arena.
Okay. So you're kind of running scenarios in your head and just like
nothing too
breathing.
intense, nothing too like specific, just kind of like making sure he's mindful on what's about to happen, like just fully focused, trying to put aside like the grief as well, part of it, because that has no place necessarily in the upcoming fight. And then he's eventually at some point go to sleep, and when he does wake up, do some light warm up as well. But that's the goal for when he wakes up.
Okay. So we have both Magdohr. Oh my god, you look like a frustrate. We have Magdohr and Vol to bed, but we've only got an exhausted, screaming bird boy up to about a minute out of the meeting. What are you doing for the rest of the night until you go to sleep?
Yes.
Yeah, exhausted flying bird boy.
Yeah, just slowly flying down, just like heaving for a little bit. Oh.
The wolves give you a very odd look that are waiting outside, that are watching the front.
Oh. Too fast. Well, I know what to do if the dragon's after me. Like, the Nox slowly gets to the ground and goes, I just wanted the fly. Oh. Like, Nox is nauseous. There's no way they could have flew around that fast without, like, feeling a little bit shaky after that one.
Okay, con saving throw. DC is 10.
Rolled
Hit
10
it.
right on the dot.
Yeah, you barely keep from retching.
Oh, what was that? Is that jerky? Nox is gonna head back inside.
Okay. They are doing their respective things, whether it's a premeditation before the day of battle. You've seen Vol do this before, and Magdohr is drinking heavily.
Like Nox would probably still be like halfway shape shifting back into like their changeling form, and goes, "Well, I got wings on my birthday. Birthday.
Rest. Gotta fight a dragon tomorrow.
Ah, yes, the rest. A beautiful creature. I believe there's actually a bird called the rest, W-R-E-S-T. I could be wrong on that. We're gonna ignore that joke. Oh, pretty bird. I'm gonna like flap my wing towards him a little bit. No response. Okay. Magdohr,
You should
I got
rest.
wings.
You should rest.
Well, finally, some of them will repeat themselves. I just shout that out loud as they head over the Magdohr.
I'm passed out.
Oh, it's only been a few minutes. He's only been gone for
I
about
thought
10
he'd come
minutes, so
back
you're
after
not.
the whole time.
You're in
Oh,
the
yeah.
process of. Yeah, you're in the process of the beginning stages of this. You're probably your second tankard in already,
Well,
though.
then I passed the alchemy jug. So don't talk, just drink.
Nox like turns blue as they turn sad a little bit, and they dismiss the wings and goes, "Okay, I'm going to bed too then." And they just slump over to their bed.
Magdohr pulls the alchemy jug back and starts drinking again.
All right, so as Magdohr drinks himself into sleepiness, Vol tries to kind of simulate in his own mind what may go on and how he can react, just his own kind of premeditative state that he needs before he knows something's coming, and then eventually finds rest, even if it's restless rest. Ooh, and then I don't know if it's conflicted or just a kind of interestingly burdened Nox falls asleep. There we go. Falls asleep as you all wait and try and get some rest before the day that will be either the salvation of the Val Nugoni village or its possible destruction or relocation and the possible end of your journey. And that's where we'll pick it up next time.
Brennan, you took it out.
Oh,
It's all you, baby.
I don't have the closing. I don't know how this part goes.
It's okay. Technically, I still go first. You can find me on Twitter at 2timestyler.
You can find me on Twitter at LR the 11th, all letters, one word.
You can find me at Twitter on Twitter at Zigzagoon.
You can find me on Twitter at Glenn Houston. Glenn with 2 N's. Houston looks like Huston.
We
are part of Casual Master Quest podcast. We do news, I think. Nope, we don't do news.
So one thing we took out. Nope, JK.
JK. We are part of Casual Master Quest podcast to bring you the latest gaming tropes you deserve. You can find us.
There you go.
Where can they find us, Tyler?
Where can we find us? You know, that's a great question. You can find us anywhere you can Google, or everywhere you can Google, and on Twitter at CMQ Network.
That was Tyler,
But-
and then that was Nick,
Yeah.
and that was Glenn,
Hi.
and I'm Brandon. And we'll see you next time on Casual Quest Masters. And don't forget to never stop the quest. Bye-bye.
Looks good to me. Shit.
Wasn't
Wipe its
too bad.
ass and send her out.
That's a wrap.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Casual Quest Masters. Thank you so much to you, our listeners, for being here, and to Sirenscape for allowing us to utilize their amazing programs for sounds and music. Check them out at Sirenscape.com. We hope to see you here next time for the next episode of Casual Quest Masters.